How's it going, team? This is the Brown Man. I hope all is well. We are back. This is going to be like a Marvel Rivals thoughts video based off of my rank. Right now, I am Platinum, I believe. Yeah, going to be Gold 1 with another loss or so, I think, unfortunately. But we've been doing okay. We've definitely had a lot of losses, and I've reviewed my matches as well. And a part of it is I'm not with the team. So that's ripped, right? I'm not with the team. It would be a lot easier if I was with team. And there are many mistakes on my end. Well, some mistakes on my end. And some mistakes on other people's end, on the team's end. And it's all these mistakes that add together. Alright, so it's not necessarily just me. And even if I play really well, there's only so much I can do. And we're going to go into that. So, when it comes to my games, I didn't really play a game like this before too much. I played like 2 seconds, maybe of Overwatch. It was a little on the fuckery side. So I didn't really like it. But I do have to improve my aim. That is one. I have to improve my aim or improve how my hits land. I need to get better at landing my hits. My accuracy needs to go up. I do get that. I need to get better at positioning myself not to get killed by an ult or not to get ganked, or constantly remember that people can be on comms, so not overextend in certain areas. Those are things that I need to work on. It's the issue with Jeff, particularly, is that Jeff relies a lot on communication to do well. So when someone plays somebody like Cloak and Dagger, when someone plays somebody like Luna Snow or Mantis, is that they can kind of hug their team and then the benefits just keep going. Like, you just keep getting the benefits. The thing about Jeff is that you also have to have map knowledge yourself. So when you play a game, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to leave, and I'd say at the beginning of every fucking game, hey, I'm going to leave orbs on point or on path. Do not eat them unless you need heals. These have incredible value. So let's say there's a Black Panther. I can't handle the Black Panther, right? I can actually leave a bubble and kind of keep the Black Panther's attention. The DPS, the Spider-Man, the Magic, the Psylocke, whoever the fuck that is, needs to immediately come help their support. What they need to come help the support, and there's a bubble nearby. So I left healing already there for the person for us to engage. We can win that 2-on-1. Cool. Or let's say the Jeff scouts a support. Jeff is in mid-range, harasses the support, gets some of the team is pushing up, some of the team is coming back to help their support, or they have both supports. I'm pinging these people at their spawn. I'm pinging this vulnerable target. One of the DPSs should be a flanker. We should very easily KO and snowball. And I keep seeing that in almost every game that we've lost, like 95% of them, I'm rewatching them, the DPS isn't paying attention to pings. The DPS isn't flanking. There was, I think, one of my the more recent games where we very clearly had a very strong push. We pushed very strong. And, what was it? We pushed much faster than they did on the first checkpoint in Tokyo. But we couldn't move at the second checkpoint. We literally could not move. Why? Because we weren't flanking. We weren't breaking through their front lines. Our DPS wasn't going all the way around to attack the healers in the back. And then they said something smart like, your Jeff is throwing the game. What is he doing? But every time I went back there, I peeled people off their team, and we slowed the progress down, and we almost got it. We were very close. We almost prevented them from getting 3 points, and then we went on the offense, and we very easily, because we flanked, we regularly flanked them. We very easily and much quicker than they did got the point. But my team stopped flanking. The Moon Knight didn't go all the way off to the side to attack from the back. You know how it is when you play Moon Knight. Moon Knight finds a position at an off angle, throws the Ankh, just does all that extra shit. You already know what Moon Knight does. This Moon Knight was standing right next to the team, throwing the Ankh in one very obvious direction. The team very obviously knew how to defend against this, and it wasn't working. And part of it is just map knowledge. Part of it is you need to do something different. If you're not breaking through, if you're not doing something, you have to do something different. You have to play differently. And there was a great game There are several great games where my team was actually doing their thing after I showed how effective, and sometimes I have to take the lead and show how effective flanking is. And when it works, and when one or two of my DPSs are doing really good flanks, I can stay back and heal the tank. I can stay back and do that because what you guys don't realize is that when you guys flank, you're taking less pressure off the tank, and it allows the healers to keep healing the tank if the tank is constantly making space. Because it's not about KDA, it's about winning the objective. If the objective is an escort, do whatever you can to escort that. That means you need to keep wiping out the team if need be, or keep pushing the team back. Right? It's about keeping the enemy team as close to their spawn as you can by any means, and you advancing towards the goal. If you are defending the objective, right, then you are pushing the enemy on the other side. You're not falling back, because when you do that, they're making gains, they're hitting the checkpoint, right? The checkpoint is behind you, right? The checkpoint is forward for them, right? And you want to prevent them from moving forward. So I played a game, and they're like, hey man, just heal, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm going to do it just so I have evidence of what happens when you just fall back. And we fell back, and they very easily reached just the first checkpoint. Fell back and just healed, and they very easily almost reached the second checkpoint until I started harassing them from behind. You have to flank. If you're playing DPS and you're not flanking, and at least one of your people that's supposed to be flanking that's not flanking, they're throwing the game. At least in competitive. In quick play, it is what it is. But in competitive, if you're not flanking, you're absolutely throwing the game. Because when you get to higher tiers, they will be using strategy. They will be doing certain things like that. They will be trying to pick off the healers and supports or whatever from the back. If there's a problematic assassin character or duelist, whatever you call it, they will be trying to pick off as soon as possible, right? Let's say someone has a beast, a Black Panther. Hey, people are going to ping that Black Panther and find some way to remove that motherfucker from the game to make their lives easier to pick off supports. Like, that's the level of depth that it goes to. And from my struggles of going from platinum to gold, platinum to gold, platinum to gold, part of it is I need to do better, but the other part is the people around me haven't quite figured out how to work with Jeff. Even when I leave, I'm communicating, I'm texting, I'm doing everything literally possible. If the DPS is too scared to flank, there's nothing I can really do about that, no matter how well I play, no matter how much healing I play. Somebody said, hey, you weren't really healing, and at the end screen, I had just as much healing as Adam Warlock, with less deaths and way more kills. Right? Like, it's not about, I said, KDA. It's about the moves that move the game forward, that push the objective. This isn't team deathmatch. Right? Like fuck that. I said, I'll happily get 10 kills if every time I dive in or do something to get a distraction and I die, but both of the healers and a DPS die, that's a good trade in my book. And the objective gets pushed, that's a good trade. That's cool. It's about mission progress. It's not about kills. It's not about deaths. It's not about assists. It's about, because these things will naturally happen and they'll flow. It's not about flexing anything. What gets the objective pushed? And as I'm playing Platinum, as I said, I see a lot of people forget that. I see on Domination, I lose Domination matches again and again and again because they don't respect pings. They let the team regroup. I'm like, you're supposed to separate the team and not let them be strong together, right? Especially if you know how strong you have, a Snow and Cloak and Dagger together. You have to play off your Jeff player. You have a Jeff player, the Jeff player's job is to split up the team. One of your DPSs should be a dive, and Jeff will have healing orbs around the ambush point. Kill this guy. Kill the support. And then once the support is done, you know, the enemy team kind of crumbles, right? They become less effective. They have to pull back, right? And that means they make less progress, right? That's the point. And I started also watching people say higher level players, and that's how that works. That's literally what they do. And I'll see people, they'll wait to ambush, all that stuff. And I don't see that stuff. I don't see that in my games. And that's kind of why it's stuck, because we don't make the progress. I said, I don't care. We literally had a game where our duelist was having so many kills. So many kills. But you know what? We couldn't progress. Why? Because he was targeting a weaker DPS player, but the DPS player wasn't the issue. The issue was the supports and the other DPS player and the tanks that stopped our team from moving. So that guy should have attempted to pick on those supports, right? So that's that. Positioning, choosing your targets. Even for myself, I need to do that. And that's something that I'm trying to get better with as Jeff, is harassing and leaving orbs in the flank path. That way, DPS can't be like, where's my healing, bro? Like, dude, you get to, there's an orb there, eat the orb, and going back to make sure orbs are still there, because as I make new orbs, the other ones do leave. So I keep going back and forth, and I have much to learn, and I still have to get better. I said I'm new to this, to really trying to get good at this genre of game, but I do understand that most of it is strategy. So that's kind of like my ramble, for the 1st of January, and I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to do whatever it is I have to do. And it's been very rough rolling solo. It has been extremely rough. But it is what it is. You guys be safe, stay hydrated, and of course, have a good one.